Today, I will share a story that resonates with the very essence of human resilience and the profound courage to persist, despite facing a world often clouded by skepticism and selfishness. In a distant land, under the shadow of towering mountains, lived an old gardener. His garden was his life's work, vibrant with blooming flowers and thriving plants. Yet, no matter how much he toiled, there were always those who doubted his methods and intentions. They whispered that his efforts were for vanity, not for the love of nature. People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. Despite the whispers and sideways glances, the gardener continued to tend to his garden with love and dedication. He forgave those who could not see the purity of his intentions, understanding that their attitudes reflected their own inner turmoil. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. In another corner of the world, a dedicated teacher worked tirelessly in a rundown school. She gave her all, nurturing the minds and hearts of children who had been written off by society. Yet, she often faced criticism that her kindness was a play for recognition and advancement. If you are successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. Her success in turning around the lives of countless children brought both accolades and animosity. Through the murmur of false friends and the stark opposition from envious detractors, she pressed on, driven by a vision of what her students might someday achieve. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. Our story then takes us to a small-town inventor who lived by the principle of transparency and trust. Even when others took advantage of his openness, pilfering his ideas and betraying his confidences, he continued to share his innovations, believing in the greater good of advancing human knowledge. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. As the inventor watched his prototype come to life, despite the setbacks and thefts, his heart swelled with pure joy. Though his peers looked on with envy, mistaking his achievements as mere luck, he shared his success, hoping to inspire rather than alienate. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. Back to our gardener, whose prized creation, a rare flower thought extinct, was vandalized one stormy night. Heartbroken but undeterred, he planted anew, driven by his passion and the dream of restoration. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Our teacher, decades into her career, saw many of her students succeed and move on, few remembering to thank her. Yet, every morning, she stood before her new class with the same fervor, ready to mold futures without expectation of gratitude. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. And so she continued, pouring her knowledge and compassion into every lesson, every student's life, knowing well that for some it would never seem enough. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. My dear friends, as we reflect on these stories of the gardener, the teacher, and the inventor, we are reminded that our lives are not merely the sum of external validations or criticisms, but are defined by the perseverance and integrity we maintain amidst them. Each story tells of resilience, of the undying spirit to persist in the face of adversity. These stories remind us that our actions, grounded in goodness, truth, and beauty, stand alone. They are not for accolades or approval, but for the fulfillment of our own souls and the service of a purpose greater than ourselves. Do it anyway. Live, create, love, give, and forgive anyway. For at the end of the day, when you stand before the mirror of your conscience, you will know you have lived not for the approval of the world, but for the peace of your own heart.